Hello everyone, it's Mr. Punkwist from Heavy Ammo Inbound, and today I want to talk about what appears to be one of the only static rolled weapons in Destiny 2 Forsaken. This weapon is the Arsenic Bite 4B. The weapon's pretty weird, since it seems to drop from all the usual places, like bounties, rewards, gunsmiths, powerful engrams, stuff like that, but every version of it appears to be the same, and I'm assuming this is because of the ornament for the Collector's Edition, but honestly, knowing Bungie, it could totally be a bug that has been disguised as a gift, because this bow is kind of a beast on paper. So as with most reviews, I'm going to start with PvE. Since at the moment of recording this, the raid isn't live, and even if it was live, I'm nowhere near the right light level, I'll be testing it out in Strikes, Gambit, and the Dreaming City. Side note, for Strikes, I'm always talking about the 500 version, as the 400 version is kind of a cakewalk and wouldn't really be a good place to test this. I'm going to start with Strikes, as this is the primary game mode, or at least it used to be, for late game Destiny. In Strikes, this weapon is an ad demolisher. Rampage lets you tear through red bars and even helps let you take out majors with a 3x Rampage pretty easily. Archer's Tempo also works way better in PvE, as you get way more consistent targets that are a lot easier to hit and kill. Archer's Tempo also lets you put out a surprising amount of DPS, since you only need precision hits on bosses to proc it. This means you can get increased drawback from firing on the strike boss, and then just go to town on them. And of course, explosive tips are explosive tips. It's kind of self-explanatory what they do. But no matter how good the perk tree is, I still have major problems with it and bows in general in Destiny 2. Like the ridiculously slow drawback time, even with Archer's Tempo, and the fact Archer's Tempo only lasts 2 seconds on proc. Like, what's up with that? But on to Gambit and the Dreaming City. I'd pretty much say the same thing as Strikes. This weapon is a consistent ad killer, great for getting up in enemies' faces with explosive arrows and grabbing motes, and honestly good for taking out Primevals too with the Archer's Tempo bow. Obviously use your primary for PvP in Gambit, but I'll get to all that in the PvP section of this review. And for the Dreaming City, I wouldn't really recommend it, as there are snipers and shotguns that'd be way more successful in stuff like the Ascendant Challenge that you're probably going to be doing in the Dreaming City. I guess just walking around completing bounties you can use it, but really I would just always stick to shotguns or snipers for that place. So now on to PvP. Let me say that I only got close with this weapon in like 2 games before I almost jumped out of a goddamn window. But anyways, my initial reaction to this bow in the Crucible was just anger and sadness. Like I was this close to having the PvP section be a montage of assists and getting outgunned by every loadout under the Traveler. But I slowly learned, very slowly, that the bow is meant as support. No matter if you have quick draw, explosive arrows, Archer's Tempo, you will not outgun anyone in a 1v1 unless they are just not trying. The worst part is that since the role is static as far as we know, Rampage is mostly just a waste of a perk slot in PvP unless you're kind of a god or people are brain dead. The only way I can see this being competitive at all is if Bungie just increases the bow drawback time for all bows drastically and make the accuracy stat not as required to get 2-shot kills on the Crucible, because without it your bow is useless, just absolutely useless. If you still want to use the bow in Crucible, who knows, maybe you might either be a glutton for punishment or maybe a god, I don't know, or have a god roll, I guess is what I should say. You can, but for now the bow, especially this one, is just a gimmick weapon to me, and will always be that way. But PvE, it's great. 10 out of 10. But yeah, anyways, this is the first review of Forsaken. There'll be plenty more to come. This is Mr. Punkwist from Heavy Ammo Inbound, signing out. I will see you guys next time.